Hello, everybody. I'm not going to keep people too long. If anyone hops on, let me know that you can hear me. I hope you're all well. I know everyone's off having summer adventures, so I'm going to make this quick and straight to the point and informative. And welcome to all our new members. We have a lot of new members, a lot of airdronians, if that's what we're called. I am Shemaine. I'm owner of Shemaine's Model Health. I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm a nutritional therapist. I'm a biohacker, certified iridologist, certified hair mineral analysis consultant, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. Anyway, basically, I just specialize in health. So the other day, I was saying to a client slash friend, Jessica, she was talking about the heat and she was exercising. She was going for a walk, I think. And I was like, make sure you're hydrating. And she said, I am. I'm averaging about 5 liters a day, which is a lot, but you also have to understand it's individual depending on your size and your height and activity and all. You may require more than the next person. That's not the point. And I said, that's great, but remember your minerals. And I also ended up having this conversation with my hairdresser the other day, and she was like, no way, I didn't know that. So here's the thing. Okay, we're obviously sweating a lot. So, on an average day when the temperatures are normal and maybe you're exercising a lot, we need a certain amount of hydration. It supports detoxification, it supports cellular energy, cellular function, hormone capacity, like brain performance. Like, hydration is really important. One of the main reasons that hydration, while I'm on this point, helps with weight loss is through the detoxification pathways. But when we're experiencing a lot of heat, we're obviously sweating a lot. And whether or not you realize it, you're probably panting a lot too. You're breathing out through your mouth a lot more. We lose 40% more of our bodily fluids hydration out our mouth than if we nasal breathe. So there's that to be considered. Then we have air conditioning, which is going to dry out your skin. The fans that circulate, I keep my bedroom fan on all night, and every morning I wake up super dehydrated because fans and air conditioning, they pull water out of your skin, like a lot of water. And if you're sleeping for 8 or for me it's like on average I sleep 9 hours. That's 9 hours of a fan pulling water, including minerals, out of your skin. So then you have, if you're exercising, going to the gym, exercising at home, you're going to sweat a lot. I have been sweating so much. Even if you're not, like over the weekend I took 2 rest days. I wasn't exercising. I was doing some gardening. I did a bit of painting, just like pottering around the house. I was sweating. Behind my knees were sweating. My elbows were sweating. I was sweating. So even though I wasn't exercising, I was losing a lot of fluids, including minerals. Now, I really hope that people do watch this video and understand that every time I'm talking about hydration or dehydration, I'm not only talking about the water, I'm considering the minerals and the electrolytes. And just to make things easy, electrolytes are basically electrified minerals. So some minerals have a stronger electric charge on them, which helps them get into the cell better. So that would be sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. Those would be our main ones. So when you're thinking electrolytes, those are the main ones people or me are talking about. But minerals are super important on every level, not just the electrolytes. When we sweat, we lose a huge amount of copper through our sweat. A lot of people don't realize copper deficiency is a big thing now. If you have a copper deficiency, that's going to impact your iron levels or your ferritin or serum ferritin levels. So people think they have iron deficiencies when it's actually a copper deficiency that's causing the symptoms that makes you think you have anemia or an iron deficiency. I did a whole podcast on that a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I can't remember. But so we lose a lot of copper, and copper for some people is hard to get into their diet. Although one of my favorite sources of copper, you'll probably know this, is dark chocolate. Is very high in copper. It's a good source, and seafood is great too, especially oysters. Um, So then when we're forget about like magnesium loss. So most people, I think, at this stage know if they get cramps in their feet or their legs or muscle spasms, anything that goes spastic or spasms or palpitations like heart palpitations, that's a magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is a very important mineral. You will need to replenish magnesium on hot days. But then you have sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium, we lose a lot of that when we're sweating, when we're dehydrated, even when we're stressed, when we're exercising. And if you don't have a good balance of sodium and potassium in your body, you're going to start experiencing swelling and puffiness and a lot of fluid retention. And I get it too. Some of us are more sensitive to fluid retention, but I do get it too. Potassium seems to be one of the harder nutrients for people to get into their diets. My favorite sources of potassium, or source, is probably dates. I really like dates for potassium, but by all means, you can use a banana, you can use avocado as well, and then your green vegetables, so you can get your potassium that way. And then I'm a big advocate of using good quality, like clean electrolytes. I really like the Morning Rise and Shine brand for many reasons, not just their electrolytes. They also have aloe vera, which is very hydrating but healing for the gut. They have stevia, and there's some research showing stevia can be beneficial for the microbiome. They have lemon juice. I can't remember the other ingredients, but I really like them because they're really good and they don't break a fast, for those of you that are curious. Most good, clean electrolytes, most of them, and I do look at them for people, but they generally don't break a fast. And then you just have your sea salt and your lemon juice. So it's important to be remineralizing as well as rehydrating, because here's the thing, and this is what I was saying to Jessica. If you're drinking 5 liters of water, just tap water or fridge water or whatever water, um, then you're further diluting the amount of minerals that are already in your body. So then you consider, I'm not replenishing the minerals I'm losing, and I'm losing a lot through sweat and exhalation. Now, whatever minerals I'm left with in my body, I'm further diluting them even more. So now I have even lower concentrations of minerals in my body, and now I'm starting to experience like brain fog, spastic legs, cramps, heart palpitations, even sleep issues, irritability, all these symptoms. My skin looks terrible. Not my skin, but this is just an example. Um, I'm kidding, by the way, for those of you that don't get my sense of humor. But you have to be remineralizing. You absolutely have to be remineralizing. And apart from those symptoms, if you're not remineralizing, you're going to hold on to a lot more fluid. You're going to feel a lot more stiff and swollen, but also that's going to slow down metabolism and that's going to increase inflammation as well. So there's a lot to be considered. You're going to be pulling water out of your skin with air conditioning and fans. You're also going to be, even if you're not exercising, losing a lot of minerals through your skin, through sweating. Then you also have, if this extreme weight is very stressful to your body, like it is to me, then you're going to need to add in some magnesium as well. You may be experiencing, this could go either way. This may be so stressful on you that you're experiencing diarrhea, or you may be getting constipation. If you have any gastric issues and you struggle in this extreme heat and you're not remineralizing and rehydrating properly, you're going to cause your intestines and your colon specifically, especially if you've diverticulosis, you're going to cause it to inflame and swell. And that can then put pressure on your back and could put pressure on your hips. You're going to feel like, oh, I've back pain. But you didn't actually hurt your back. It's that your colon is pressing on the nerves and that's causing you back pain. So obviously there's a lot to be considered. But what I'm trying to drive home here is, if you're sweating, if it's a heat wave, you can't just rehydrate with water. You have to be adding in the minerals and the electrolytes. So how do you do that? Well, you could use a supplement like I mentioned. You can use sea salt, you can use lemon and lime juice fruits and vegetables are very high in electrolytes and minerals. You also then can just take like potassium citrate, magnesium citrate. You can take these different individual supplements, although I prefer you used an electrolyte. And then, of course, my absolute favorite, mineral water. Lots of mineral water is going to be helpful, although I do know it can get expensive, especially with inflation. That's why sea salt and lemon juice is going to do just a good job as well. And then if you need a little bit of help to get those minerals into the cells, you can add a little bit of maple syrup or a tiny bit of sugar. People that go keto or low carb, they're going to lose minerals and fluids a lot faster than someone that's maybe eating higher carb, or dare I say eating whatever they want, because insulin and carbohydrates help the body retain fluid, but they also help to keep fluid in the kidneys. Insulin helps the kidneys retain fluids, and specifically sodium and potassium, so your minerals. But then you have this caveat. Generally, I'm going to leave it at this, not to confuse people too much. Generally, I'm a big advocate of salt, good sea salt, in that I I've seen sea salt help increase metabolism when used properly. It can help reduce cravings. It's essential for improving insulin resistance. It's essential for cellular function, metabolic flexibility, hydration, hormones, the whole lot. Sea salt is amazing. But I will say this in a sense that with my clients who are doing what I tell them, don't be afraid of salt. Go to town on salt. Salt is amazing. There's many benefits. I'll do a post in here on the benefits of salt shortly. But for people who are eating very high carb or whatever they want, or a lot of processed and junk foods, then you have to watch the salt, because it's when we add the salt in with the junk or crappy foods, that's where we have the problem. That's where the research showed the issues. And even at that, those studies were not totally clear, and they weren't set in stone, but that generally is where we see the problems. It's like your fat and carb combinations. Carbs alone can be fine, fat alone can be fine, but when we combine it, now we have a nuclear bomb that's going to cause a problem. So my clients who are eating clean, or anyone who's eating clean, or someone who's following my instructions, don't be afraid of salt. Salt is amazing. But for people who are eating whatever they want, or a lot of junk food or processed foods, you have to be careful with salt. Okay, I hope I got the message home. Leave any questions if you have any, and I'll respond to them. Have a great day, everyone.